food and nutrition, where we're going to talk about consumer education. At the end of the lesson, I expect you to define a consumer protection, consumer education, and also you outline the differences between goods and services, as well as be able to explain the rights of the consumer. My name is Sandra Muvanga Chimuka. Consumer education. Consumer education. Firstly, we define who a consumer is. A consumer is a person. A consumer is a person who buys goods and these services. A person who buys goods and services. Or you can say a consumer is an end user of the goods and these services. When the goods have been made or the services have been provided, a consumer is going to make use of them. That is what a consumer is. Now, consumer education. Consumer education. Consumer education is simply the knowledge that a person should have when buying goods and services. Consumer education is the knowledge. Consumer education is the knowledge when buying goods and services. So, when you are buying goods and services, you need to have the knowledge. So, consumer education is the knowledge about, or when you buy goods and services, you should have the knowledge so that you know what you're supposed to do. Then the other time I said we are going to talk about consumer protection. Consumer protection. Consumer protection is a group of laws. Consumer protection is a group of laws or an organization designed to look at, to protect the rights of the consumer. The rights of the consumer. Consumer by ensuring that there is fair trade, competition in the marketplace. Why should there be fair trade in the marketplace? Fair trade in the marketplace should be there because that's where we buy goods. So this consumer protection will make sure that they come up with their laws that will help you that will protect you when buying goods and services. So that is what consumer protection is. A group of laws or an organization designed, they are just there, okay, to ensure that when you go to the market, you are given fair trade in the marketplace, or the competition should be there. So that is what they aim at. Then now, the consumer protection laws. What are these laws that we are talking about? Consumer protection laws, it's a form of government regulation which aim to protect the rights of the consumer. Consumer laws is a form of government regulation that aim to protect the rights of who? The consumer. So that is the difference between consumer protection, which is a group, and consumer protection laws. What is the difference between the goods and services? Or someone to give me an example of a good and someone to give me an example of a service, so that at the end we'll be able to define the difference. Any example of a good? Lisa there?
Clothes.
Clothes, it's a good, right? Clothes, it's a good. A service?
Teaching.
Yes. Any other? A service. Any other? Alice?
Working.
Working? How about you have something? I saw your hand up.
Service, the market.
The market? Anybody else? Okay. The difference between goods and services. Goods are tangible things that you can see, touch, or smell. So she mentioned the clothes. Yes, we touch clothes and we put on them, isn't it? So it's tangible. So goods are tangible things that you can see, touch, or smell. That is a good. Apart from being tangible, when you are dealing with goods, goods are things that make a change of ownership from the seller to the buyer. Okay? What this simply means, it means that, for example, if I go in the tuck shop, I have my 10 kwacha with me. I want a fruit canna. Then I give Mr. Nyirongo a 10 kwacha. And Mr. Nyirongo gives me this fruit canna tamarind. Okay? We have exchanged, isn't it?
Yes.
I've given him money, he has given me this. So, at that point, who becomes the owner of money? And who becomes the owner of this brick? Okay, so that is it, change of ownership. In goods, there is what? Change of ownership. So that is good. Then services. Services, these are intangible. Intangible things. They are intangible things such as what? Transport, water, okay? Such as transport, water, electricity, healthy, and many others. Right? So there are so many. Meaning that these, there are, you can't touch them, but you make use of them. In short, we are saying, you make use of the what? The services that a person provides. For example, you happen to go to Tafika Lodge. You want to get a room. You find that they have prepared a room for you, well swept, well cleaned with everything. So when you pay the money, they are going to give you that room, isn't it? So you are making use of those. You find that in there, with the money that you have paid, you have given them. You've paid for the room. You've also paid for electricity. You've also paid for water. So services are intangible, while goods are what? Tangible. So that is the difference between the goods and the services. So in intangible, you can neither see them or touch them. Are we together?
Yes.
Intangible, I said, you can neither do what?
See them or touch.
Neither between the goods and services?
Yes.
If I'm to ask without you reading on the board, can you be able to differentiate the two? Imelda, differentiate the two, since you said you are able to.
Goods, these are tangible things that you can see, touch, and smell. Well, goods, these are things that are intangible, such as transport, water, and electricity.
Okay, so that is it, the difference. Now, when we want to get these goods and services, how are you going to know? For example, I layer chickens and I sell them, maybe at home or somewhere else. Now, when my chickens are ready, then I want to sell them. And you stay far like Chumchuru, and me, maybe from the Zesco compound. How are you going to know that Madam Chuluka is selling chickens at Chumchuru? Let's mention the methods in which one is able to have that information about a product that a person is selling. How can you know that Madam Chuluka is selling chickens at Chumchuru? Elisha?
By accessing information on newspaper.
By accessing information on newspaper. Okay, so meaning that Madam Chuluka is going to make something on the newspaper. What else are the handles up?
By using billboards.
By using billboards. What are others saying? So what do you call that which you use in the magazine, which the newspaper that he has mentioned, and the billboards? What do you call that item? Advertisement. Very good. It's called advertisement. Now, since you said advertisement, let's define advertisement. What is it? What is advertisement? You've mentioned example. Yes, Hagai.
An advertisement is a notice or an announcement in public medium about the product or services and job vacancies.
Notice or an announcement in a public medium promoting a product or a service or an event or publicizing a job vacancy. So it's a notice or an announcement that is made. So that is advertisement. So advertisement is a notice or an announcement in public media about the goods, about the product, service, an event or a job vacance. Okay, we have seen this sign, so that is what an advertisement is. So now, quickly, let's mention those examples that we have mentioned. Vacance, e.g. through what? Radio. We said public media. What is radio? What else? Elisha?
On television.
Television. What else? Phones. Phones. Magazines. She mentioned the billboards sometime back. Billboards. Posters. What else? Flyers. Okay, there are so many. Even signs. Even using individuals, Even using individuals. We have seen, especially on the things to do with cosmetics, the lotions, okay, the powders. You find that they will put a café of a brick person on that powder. on the lotion. So you, when you buy, you also think like when you start using that lotion, you are going to look slender like that person. So those are examples where this advertisement is done. So advertisement is meant mainly to give the general public, to give you information about what is happening, so that you are able to make a decision about that product. So in advertisement, an advertisement is supposed to give you truthful information. Are we together?
Yes.
Truthful information, so that you are able to make an informed decision. Are we together up to this far?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, let's talk about the rights of the consumer. We say that the duty of the consumer protection is to ensure to it the rights of the consumers are protected. Now, let's look at those rights that should be protected. Rights of the consumer. We've already defined a consumer. We know who a consumer is. A person who buys goods and services. In short, an end user. Okay? The first right is the right to safety. What does the right to safety mean? What do you understand by the right to safety? You as a consumer. The right to safety. What safety are we talking about? What safety are we talking about? Hagar.
The way goods and services are stored.
Okay, saying the way goods and services are stored. What are others saying? The right to safety. Okay, the right to safety simply means that you as a consumer, me as a consumer, we have the right to be protected. Even when I'm using a bus, or even a bus for one I use, we should have the right to be free from any injuries. Are we together? That is the reason why when you are using a vehicle and the driver is overspeeding, you as a passenger in that bus, you are a consumer because you have paid for that service, isn't it? You are supposed to tell them, driver, slow down, because it is your right to safety, it's your right to reach your destination safe without any injury. So it's not only about the public transport. Also, when buying goods, foodstuffs, okay? Foodstuffs, you are supposed to have full information. You are not supposed to go there and buy a product that is expired. That is the reason why when in packaging now, they are supposed to give you information about when this product is going to expire. Are we together? Then also you are supposed to know the content of this product, the nutritional value, so that you make an informed decision. It is your right to buy a foodstuff that you can consume without giving you any ill-born disease. Because if you buy something that is expired, definitely you are going to get sick. Now, if you get sick, is the right to safety taken care of? No. So you have the right to safety. The second right is the right to be informed. The right to be informed. What do you understand by the right to be informed? What information are we talking about? Lisa there behind.
You should have information about the goods that you want to buy.
Very good. You should have information about the goods that you have. We've already talked about advertisement. That is where information comes from. When they advertise, you are going to have the what? The information. And not only about advertising, even the way this is also, but full information, truthful information. They should not say sugar. When you look at maybe the ingredients that they use, they say sugar, whatever. And when you buy that drink and you take it, you find that there is no sugar. It means that there is no truth. It means that the information that have been given to you is wrong. So you have the right to truthful information. You need to be informed. The third right is the right to choose. The right to choose. What is it all about? The right to choose. Yes, Patricia.
You have the right to get what you want to buy.
Very good. You have the right to get what you want. No one should force you. Even when you are buying clothes, for example, you are buying a dress, then they are in colors or what. Someone should not force you to say, get the black one, get the red one. Choose what is good for you. Choose what is good for you. So you have the right to choose the product that you want. No one should force you. The right to choose. The fourth right is the right to be heard. The right to be heard. Anyone to explain the right to be heard? Anyone to explain the right to be heard? You as a consumer, what should you be heard of? Yes, Faith there.
You as a consumer, you have to be heard if you have any complaints about the goods, if you didn't like it.
Okay, very good. You have the right to be heard in case or in an event where you buy a product, maybe that you are not satisfied of, or maybe when you bought it, you were given false information about that product. Then you go back and complain to say, this is not what you said, but it has happened like that. You have the right to be heard. When you complain, they should be able to hear you. So it is your right as a consumer. Talk about the product, then you'll be given maybe another product. The third one is the right to redress. The right to redress. This one, the fifth one, the right to redress. What about the right to redress? Who can explain it? Alice?
If you have taken something which has already been expired, you can go to the exchange.
Very good. The right to redress. In short, we are saying maybe reversing the situation that has happened. And that is the very reason why it's very important for you. When you go to buy something from the shops, make sure that after buying, you demand for a receipt. Okay? Because if you just buy a product, especially for bigger items, bigger equipment, like the cooker, okay? The cooker, the refrigerator, anything big, set of sofas or whatever, especially things that to do with the electricity, you make sure you demand for a receipt. So that, for example, if you bought a refrigerator and they demonstrated to you how it works and from the shops, then when you come home, it happens the other way around. You have the right to go back. Now, when you go back there, they'll ask you, madam, how true is it that you bought from our shop? You produce a what? A receipt to say I came from in this shop, that is where I bought it. So it is not working. I need another one. So make sure you have a piece of a receipt every time you buy it, even the food, whatever, so that when you take them, they will not be problems. So there's a right to redress. The situation can change so that you are given another product. The right to consumer education. This is the sixth one. The right to consumer education. I've already defined consumer education. So what is it all about? Elisha?
The right of consumer education meaning buying of goods and services.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes, Heather?
It's a right for the consumer to learn how the good which is going to buy is used.
Very good. To have knowledge and skills about the products. You buy a stove, a cooker, and you don't know how to operate it. You don't even know where to adjust the knobs and where to switch. Before you leave that shop, asking for a piece of demonstration. Tell them to say, how does this work? Okay? So you have the right to have the knowledge so that when you come home, you will not start suffering to where do I adjust the knob? Where is the what? Ask for a piece of demonstration while in the shop so that you have the full information, truthful information about that product. The right to consumer education. The second one is the right to a healthy environment. The right to a healthy environment. What does the right to a healthy environment mean? What does the right to a healthy environment mean? Alice?
As a consumer, you have to make sure that the environment where you're coming from is clean.
Okay. As a consumer, you make sure. Lisa, you have a different squad?
Yes.
Okay. You can go ahead.
As a consumer, you have a right to see where the goods you are buying, how clean it is.
Yes. So you have the right to buy goods from a clean environment. Even if it's a service, there should be a clean environment. It can be a workplace, a conducive place, a clean place where you can work and enjoy your work. When you buy, don't just buy. Some of the things that we find in these shops full of dust. Right? You find food in the shops there. You say, I want they just give it as full of dust. The way it is, they give you. You have the right to tell them it's dirty. Maybe you clean it or what. So, if the shop, in short, you're saying, if the shop where you are buying the products, you see that the environment is not good, don't buy. Look for a clean shop and then buy. Even in restaurants, those who like eating shima from the restaurant, there are restaurants that when you just enter, the environment is not welcoming. Leave. Don't buy from there. So you have the right to healthy, clean environment when you are buying these goods and these services. The eighth right is the right to certification of basic needs. Certification of basic needs. What does it mean? Okay, there are people waking up either behind there.
The consumer should be satisfied with the good which they have bought.
You should be satisfied. That's why there's a right to choose. You should not be supposed to be forced. Right? You should be satisfied with the good that you have bought. The right to certification. If you are not satisfied with it, leave it. Get something that you'll be satisfied with. Right? So that is this right. The right to certification of basic needs. The clothes, the house, where you are staying, everything you should be satisfied with. Okay, these are just some of the rights, some of the rights of the consumer education. Now, let's look at your responsibility as a consumer. Responsibilities of a consumer. Responsibilities. Responsibilities of a consumer. What are your responsibilities? What are you supposed to do as a consumer? What are you supposed to do as a consumer? What are your responsibilities? Patricia?
To return the products when they are already expired.
Okay. To return the goods and services when they are not okay. What are others say? What are your responsibilities? Yes, Alice?
As a consumer, you have to make sure that you treat your people in the same way that you treat yourself.
Responsibility. Maybe I define responsibility. Something that you are supposed to do as a consumer. Something that you are supposed to do as a consumer. When you are buying something, what is it that you are supposed to do as a consumer? Yes, Linda there. You should be a good consumer. She's saying you should be a good consumer. Alicia, have something there?
Buying goods which are durable.
Very good. In short, we are saying that it is your responsibility as a consumer to be aware and check goods and services before buying. Okay? You should be aware of the goods that you are supposed to buy. You don't just go and buy. Even when you are buying drinks, you want is it Melinda or what? You ask, what about this one and this? So you should be aware
the variety of a food.
Remove your hand from the mouth.
The variety of a food.
The variety, very good. Well, especially when you're buying food, there is a variety. So you need to see to it that you watch out and gather enough information. It is your responsibility to watch and gather enough information about that good. If it's about the housing and everything, if it's about the food, so there are sometimes changes. You find that sometimes this food, the other time you bought it this time, the other day it's going at. So look at those changes, or maybe the innovations. You need to watch out and gather enough information before you make use of that good. And maybe the last one we are saying that you need to think independently. You need to do what? Think independently. What does that mean? Thinking independently. Yes, Imelda?
It's more like deciding on your own or making a decision on your own.
Think independently. Imelda?
More like deciding on your own.
Very good. You need to decide on your own. Don't be intimidated to say, get this one, do this one. You are an individual. You are an individual. Therefore, you need to think independently. You even should be able to analyze your needs, the wants, and also so that you make an informed decision. Because if you rush in doing things, you will not come up with an informed decision. You will not come up with an informed decision. So it's your responsibility to think what? Independently. As well as to be aware of the products that you are going to buy. Gather enough information before you buy. Are we together? Any question? Yes, Patricia.
Madam, what does the word tangible mean?
Something that you can touch. Something that you can touch. It's tangible. No wonder we say the services, they are intangible because you can't touch them. But the goods, they are tangible because you can touch them. Yes, Alice?
Madam, but we can touch water, but how come you say that water is an intangible?
Water, yes, you can touch water. You have an answer, Hannah? You want to answer her? Okay, go ahead.
Essentially, you say that the intangible are things that you can either touch or see.
Neither touch or see. Any other question? Christabel?
Madam, what's the difference between consumer protection and consumer education?
Consumer protection and consumer education. I say consumer education is the knowledge about the goods and services that you want to buy. That is consumer education.
Yes.
Consumer education is having the knowledge and skills about the goods and services that you want to use. While consumer protection, consumer protection is a group of laws and organizations that are designed to protect the rights of the consumers by ensuring that there is fair trade and competition in the marketplace. Is it clear, Christabel?
Yes.
Okay, any other question? Alice? Responsibilities, a duty, something that you're supposed to do. Okay? Let's take for example, you are a sub-prefect. What are your duties? To see to it that you push learners to class, the dorms are clean and the like, isn't it? That is your responsibility, a duty that you are given to do. So even consumers, you have a responsibility to take something, be aware, to gather information. You don't just go to say, now I've come to buy boom. You have a duty, it's your duty to gather information about that boom paste. How effective is it when you get it and use it? Anything else? Well, learners, we have come to the end of today's lesson. On behalf of the production team, my name is Sandra Mufanga Chimuka. See you in the next lesson.